Happy New Year. Welcome. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Davey, and welcome to the 2024 edition of the Weekend Hangover.
We thought we were going to do better this year.
Without fail. Well, brand new year, same us. Welcome, folks.
I know.
Finally back to Weekend Hangover, your Sunday edition of just relaxing, chilling, and talking about pop culture stuff. We're going to get into more pop culture stuff this year.
Yes.
We are going to do documentaries. This year, we are starting off with a banger. Natalia Grace, spoke about her before, and all of a sudden, did you know that they were going to do the second season? Or
I had no idea.
Me neither. All of a sudden, I got
like randomly was just on HBO, and I was like, "What do you mean new season?" And then that's why I freaked out, and I text you, and I was like, "Oh, she speaks."
Yeah, and apparently, there's gonna be a season 3.
What? Yes.
But we'll get into that.
Need it.
We are joined this week by the man, the myth, the legend, Jack, and the other man, the myth, the legend, Drunken Senpai.
What's up?
Hi, boys. What's going on?
Hey.
Howdy.
So,
shit.
So yeah, as soon as you told me about that, the second season, I watched it, and then me and Rich were talking about something, and I told Rich about it. And did you watch the first season before or no?
Me, no.
Oh, okay.
No, I knew nothing about it until you said something.
So he binge watched it and couldn't stop, and I'm like, it's crazy.
I binge watched it on my own, and then I was just like, this is insane. And then I streamed it.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, the first season.
We're talking about Tiger King?
No.
Did you see? I think it was it on Peacock or Paramount or some streaming service like did a whole series called like Joe and what the hell is her name? Carol, Joe and Carol, and it was
Carol fucking Baskins.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I
didn't watch it, so I didn't know if any of you did see how it was.
No, I never cared anything about the Tiger King show to ever pay attention to any of it.
They're
all just a bunch of fucking weirdos.
It's Florida. What did you think was good? Did you think it was going to be some normal kind of documentary? If it says Florida in the thing, I'm clicking on it and watching it as quick as possible.
Yeah. It's the best place I ever lived in my entire life.
It's so funny
Not
because when I scroll through TikTok and I see a girl, I'll go Florida. I'll watch a video and I go Florida, and then I'll click the profile Florida. I'm like, there's a reason why people are called Florida man and Florida woman. They have a certain look to them and a certain kind of like presence about them. It's kind of like they're like a snooty trailer park is what they're like.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's like I'm the queen and the king of the trailer park, and you're just like, okay, you enjoy yourself. You know, you and your swamp puppies. I used to call swamp puppies tits, but now I know what a swamp puppy really is. But yeah, so by the way, Mama J, how was your weekend?
It was great. Well, that's a lie.
It's a lie? What?
That's a lie. It wasn't great.
It's great.
Therapy's in session, folks.
Yeah, so my 1.5-year-old, almost 2, he started his terrible 2s early. And so of course his sleep schedule changed, and the reason why it changed is because someone had asked me last week, oh, is he a good sleeper? And I was like, of course he is. So of course, since I said that he's not anymore. And so this weekend he decided that he's going to figure out how to jump out of his crib in the middle of the night.
Oh man.
So we've been dealing with that and haven't had much sleep. But I will say I had a recharging moment this weekend for a few hours out in nature. I had to get back to nature, and I told my husband, I was like, I need to go for a walk and just be in nature and like recenter myself because I'm not going to be able to handle this when you are out of town for work. So, and then I left. And I came back happy, and I made everyone vegetable soup. So
and then you made everybody fucking miserable. Oh, vegetable soup.
Oh, it's so good.
No
it was
meat.
the first time
Where's
making
the
it.
meat?
Where's the
I'm
beef?
also making a fajita chicken in the crock pot right now for us to like shred and then use for the rest of the week. So
Nice.
Jack, how you been? It's been a long time, my friend. It's been a long time. How's
been
everything?
A long time. Well, in these last couple of weeks, my band released the album. You could find it on Spotify and Apple Tunes. The band is called Dreaming a False Reality. I believe it has 10 songs with an intro. And so I'm happy that that's out. We did a release party on January 6th in Pasadena, and packed house, really packed house. And then my birthday was a couple weeks ago, like almost 2 weeks ago.
You're a January baby too?
Yes. Yeah.
happy belated birthday.
Happy
Wait,
birthday.
hon, your
Thank you.
birthday is when?
I was 17.
That's right, because your birthday's the day after Cooper's.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
the 16th. Mm-hmm.
Well, happy late birthday to your son as well.
He's 8. It's great.
I wish I was 8 again. Shit.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Trying to teach you.
I'm 8. I'm great. Yes, you are.
Senpai, how have you been?
Look, let's just put it this way. Everything that we went over Thursday, the border crisis is actually a UN plan now. It's not just a Biden thing. It's a UN plan to supplement the people for economic reasons, for the economy and everything like that. So the Great Reset is true. It's real. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with people just don't want to work, so they're going to bring migrants in to replace the people that don't want to work.
I was gonna say maybe even election reasons.
Well, that too, of course, that too. There are a lot of push to bring to let the illegals vote. They already do count in the census for representatives, things like that. They already count on that. But yeah,
look at that. We have our first Rumble comment.
Goal.
Hi, Rhino.
I think that was goal number 11, Senpai, of the Agenda 2030.
Oh yeah. But like going through that document that me and David were talking about, like I can understand why Korea's mad at us. I can understand why Russia's mad at us, because the UN is trying to replace their population with immigrants. Like
It's
Korea
wild.
and Russia have nothing to do with the UN. So why are you messing with those countries on it?
It is wild. I mean, the document. Rich found I found the documentary that the document came from, and Rich found the document because I didn't watch the whole thing. Rich watched the whole documentary. It's about two brothers who do the whole trail on Muckraker. They do the whole trail from what was it, Venezuela to the United States, and they end up getting kidnapped and everything like that. But it was cool.
I remember hearing about that.
It's 40 minutes. But that 40 minutes flew. Like Rich was like, yeah, we'll do it on the Rumble section. I was like, okay. And then we did 3 hours on the YouTube section. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be tiring. And then we got to Rumble and it just flew. That just everything that happened was just like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like we were getting it. Like Amanda was saying, she was watching it with us and she was like, my anxiety's through the roof. I'm like, so is mine. Like, these guys survive in the end because they're on
Yeah.
TV. But I'm like, you're watching the whole thing going, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? And then they show you that the UN is actually helping these people through, like a marathon. Like they got, let's stop here. Here's your lunch. Here's some soda. Here's some batteries. All right, guys, go here, spend the night here, and then
Here's your
be
new
on your way.
Nikes.
Yeah, they have maps. They actually have maps to show you where the port of entries are. And they have it's like an underground railroad kind of map, and it shows you where to go, and it's insane, and it's an actual brochure. It's like it's like welcome to America. You on your way to America? Here you go. This is how you get in, and it's crazy, and they got lawyers and all this stuff. So we stumbled upon something crazy, and it's nuts. It's nuts. It's
Damn.
not.
Now, what documentary is this? Muckraker? Is that what you said?
It's on Muckraker. It's I forget the name of the documentary. I think I sent it.
What's Muckraker? Is that another social media I don't know about?
No, it's
is it James O'Keefe or no? No, he had a book called Muckraker.
James O'Keefe is OMG Media.
But
Right?
he had a book called Muckraker.
Okay.
Go ahead and bring this up. Look, replacement migration. Is it a solution to declining and aging populations? From the United Nations. Now these guys had they had UNICEF with them. They had the American Red Cross with them. They had a Chinese hotels for these Chinese nationals that are coming across the border.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing
Almost
that.
every single one of them were fighting military-aged men.
Wasn't that like one of the hotels that they just like happened to like stumble across? Like they're like
two
Crazy.
hotels.
Two of them along the way, yes.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But
It's
But going
nuts.
to the
Well-
document, we are between
Holy
scenario 4 and scenario 5 in that, because scenario 4 is like, hey, you need like 400,000 every year to replace the dying population, and scenario 5 is like you need 10.8 million, and by 2050, 73% of the United States would be immigrants.
Oh,
The replacement
man.
theory is 100% true. It's
Yeah.
not a racist thing at all. It's
No.
It's
but
economic.
it's just
Interesting.
All
Well,
right.
if you guys want to check out more of that subject with Davey and Rich, you can find you guys on Thursdays, correct?
yes.
Eight-
Off.
Off-label
Nice.
podcast 8:30
Oh, nice.
Central, 9:30 Eastern, where we did a long dive on that, and it's very, 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 very interesting, some of the stuff we looked up and got into. So give us
Yes.
we're on Rumble at Off Label Podcast and YouTube on Off Label Podcast, and it's interesting stuff.
And it's this Thursday is already shaping out to be something good too.
Oh yeah, this coming Thursday. I can't wait for this Thursday. I cannot wait. This Thursday is going to be insane. But also this Wednesday we have Andrew Jameson on, which is going to be a lot of fun too, because he's also a vet and into a lot of prepper stuff and a lot of conspiracy things also. And he likes to do a deep dive, and he's a great musician also. Just like
nice.
it's like our dear buddy Jack down there.
Amazing.
But-
Yeah, Lucas loved listening to you guys.
Nice.
He'd like
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, put it on and he'd stop what he's doing and he'd just be like,
Hell
and then
yeah.
he'd be like, again.
Are you going to try to get Lucas's age legally changed to 22 so you can put him in an apartment by himself?
No, because I love him.
Just say he's well. What are we
Just say
on?
he's from the
Are we-
Ukraine. Just say he's from the Ukraine, and you're fine.
What are
but-
we? Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is.
Just call him a midget.
Yeah, okay. I don't censor myself.
Yeah. Call him a Meej.
Well, let's
But-
put it this way: there are some things that I will say that will instantly get YouTube ripped off. So I stay on Rumble most of the time.
There you go.
so-
Yep.
Oh yeah,
after
no,
that.
we don't. Honestly, like we get strikes or we get like stuff taken down from YouTube all the time.
I have
this
no
channel,
idea
And
how me and
I
you got
know.
it. Me and you, out of all the people, the things that Biz says sometimes, I'm just like, okay. But me and you were just having a sensible conversation. Like, nah, you got it.
I know. It's like
Under the radar.
we bring up articles and facts about everything that we're talking about, and they're like gone.
And so
Whatever.
she's excited for Thursday. But what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen, today is we're going to bring you the curious case of Natalia Grace, 6-year-old orphan or con artist adult. We're visiting the strange story of Natalia Grace. Documentary breaks new ground on mystery of true age of Ukrainian girl adopted and then abandoned by an Indiana couple.
Damn, man. Hey, I'm gonna make myself a drink.
All right. It's been years since the Central Indiana couple adopted a girl from the Ukraine, became convinced that she was an adult impersonating a child, and abandoned her, setting off an international media frenzy and a legal showdown with authorities who accused them of parental neglect. But even after the recent release of a slicky produced docuseries broke new ground on the saga, the mystery surrounding Natalia Grace's virtually unprecedented adoption case seems to remain unsolved. Exactly how old was she when Michael and Christine Bennett left her? And was it unreasonable for them to do so? The dispute of the center. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, so this docu series came out in May of 2023, and I think it was like six episodes or something the first season. And then out of nowhere, I didn't see it anywhere or anything like that. There was a new episodes came out. I think it was in January of 2024.
This documentary is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the curious case of Natalia Grace. Yeah.
So what we're talking about, is this. So this article is going over basically the season that Davey and I first talked about. Like, I think it was one of our, for like maybe our third episode.
Yeah.
Or something
it was early,
on this channel.
Yeah, it was early in this
first talked
last
about
year.
it. I remember I was very like, fuck this girl. She's so old. I was like, I don't know. Yeah.
So how old?
From the very beginning of it.
Reading about it, because if for those who don't know, like, this docuseries goes up, down, all around. It like fucks you up ways, sideways, and upside down. Like
it turns you over, flips you over, bends you over, puts your legs behind your head, and then
sounds like my kind of party.
From the very beginning,
and then gives you a coupon to a chiropractor. Like, it's just crazy.
In the first series,
change for the taxi.
You can't even point down like any way that this person's at fault, that person's at fault, what's really going on, because every single episode is a different. It's a different twist to it.
Yeah, it's a mind F. The whole thing is a mind F, because one episode you're like, oh, Michael's crazy, right?
Well, he is.
That never stopped.
That never changes. But you're like, oh, well, I think he's not. I think he's lying. And then it's another second, you're like, but I think that but I think he's telling the truth. Like, you go back and forth, and it's up the roller coaster of emotions with the series.
I think Michael's lifestyle is a lie. Michael's a little flamboyant.
No, that dude is closeted hard.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hard.
And
I've
seen a couple interviews. He does kind of seem like that. It's like, well,
he's very dramatic and expressive. Okay, he's very
animated.
Like be extremely animated and a little bit hyperbolic. And I don't know. Those people that when they like try to tell you a story, they do it in a way that's almost condescending at the same time, and you're just like.
God.
So for our listeners, who is Michael?
Stop.
So Michael is the adopted father.
So go back to the article. Read it. We're getting ahead of ourselves. My thought.
The dispute at the center of the ID's 3 episode, the curious. Oh, so this was first. Oh, that's why it makes those cuts, because you watch it on HBO and it makes cuts. So I guess it was on ID first.
Yes, it was on Discovery.
At the dispute of the center of the ID's 3 episode, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, which aired from the 29th to the 31st of May. I don't know where they wrote this, and is streaming on Max and Discovery Plus. Began brewing all the way back in 2010. That was when the Bennetts took on the responsibility of parenting Natalia, believing she had been put up for adoption as a 6-year-old who was originally from the Ukraine with a rare bone growth disorder causing dwarfism. Records suggest the Bennetts, who also had 3 sons, soon came to doubt the accuracy of Natalia's listed age. In the new docuseries, Michael Bennett recounts his how
Barnett.
Christine.
Sorry.
Oh, Michael Bennett recounts how Christine
Barnett
recounts how Christine, during a trip to Disney World, let out a blood-curdling scream when she noticed full pubic hair while bathing their new daughter.
Sorry, I'm getting to the story.
Who is still supposed to be 5 years away from a typical age of puberty for girls. Natalia was also noticeably taller, had a more developed physique, and used a more extensive vocabulary than a playmate of similar age who had the same disorder that she had, according to the docuseries. The Bennett.
Hold on. Now, as far as that is concerned, there is a thing called precocious puberty that actually could cause that. As far as the girl talking in a more adult way, that happens with kids. If you're not baby talking them the entire time as they grow up, you talk to them like we talk to each other. You will see kids that talk that way. So I understand where that would come from as far as that goes.
Considering that she spent, from the time she was a baby until she started getting to the rigmarole of being adopted from like one family to another, she was, around adults a lot.
Mm-hmm. Who didn't treat her like a kid.
Not for nothing, I still baby talk dwarfs. If I see a little dwarf, oh, little guy, little fella, how are you? Oh, he's a good boy, isn't he?
Hey, shut up, man.
Hey, look, if you make me feel tall, I instantly love you. So I'm 5'7", so if I feel tall,
listen, I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". I'm not that much taller than you.
I'm 5'9".
But yeah, we have a woman that works at the hospital here in my city who's got dwarfism. And like, I could be incredibly mad every time I walk into that hospital to do something with, but the moment I see her, I'm just giddy. I'm just giddy because you make me feel tall. All right, can't help it.
You do the jump and you clap your feet together. Yay!
Well, one of my coworkers took a little video of her and walking through the hospital at one point in time, and he overput like squeaky toys every time she took a step, and then he sent it to me, and I died. I couldn't help it. I was just like, I played that like 50 times on loop, and I couldn't breathe from laughter. All you hear was squeak, 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 and I'm just like, true. That's great.
We've stood toe to toe together. I'm still taller. The Barnetts recall seeing Natalia menstruate, which in many cases doesn't happen before the age of 12, and they noticed how she spoke English without an accent and couldn't understand Ukrainian, even though she supposedly wasn't removed from the Ukraine until she was 5. In the docuseries, Michael Barnett also asserted that Natalia threatened to stab her new family and even tried to poison Christine. Unfortunately, as Michael puts it in the show, he, his wife, and other sons came to believe we were living with a con artist psychopath.
It's even scarier because it's a midget.
Yeah.
That's scary shit.
We don't know who she is. We don't know where she's really from. Who the fuck is this person? So that would be Michael Barnett and Christy Barnett.
Yes.
And imagine, it's like she runs away with that knife hiding on her table. Like
you just hear little squeak sounds as she runs away.
Yeah.
You see the light up shoes. Yeah, stop hiding. We can see the shoes.
Put a bell on her.
Yeah.
Put a freaking bell on her. The Barnetts,
the cabbage.
The Barnetts eventually brought Natalia to a doctor who told the couple that she was actually an adult. Then in 2012, they successfully petitioned an Indiana court to legally change her age from 8 to 22 years old, despite a skeletal survey done by a local child's hospital, which concluded that she was about 11.
Were they able to tell her gender at least?
No, they still couldn't. They still couldn't tell. Hi, polar bear. With the ruling drastically adjusting Natalia's age in hand, the Barnetts rented an apartment for her in Lafayette, Indiana, about 65 miles northeast of Indianapolis, and left her to live alone. According to court documents, the Barnetts, meanwhile, moved with the rest of their children to Canada before divorcing, court records and media reports said. Authorities soon began investigating Natalia's case. In 2019, after about 5 years, prosecutors charged the Barnetts with neglect of a dependent. The decision to prosecute the Barnetts prompted sensational news coverage from across the world, and some portraying the couple as overly selfish for discarding a possible disturbed child, and others suggesting that they were duped by an adult impersonating a minor. Appearing alongside the family, which, wow, what was that, and why did it do that? What?
So, but wait, did you save 15% or more on your car drinks?
Oh, you're right there.
Appearing alongside a family cared for her after the Barnetts left the U.S. Natalia went on Dr. Phil's talk show and rejected the idea that she scammed anyone. She accused the Barnetts of deserting her when she was 8, instructing her to tell people that she was older than she was and lying about her conduct.
Now, Dr. Phil was like, "Are you a midget or are you just playing and you're an 8-year-old? Now,
Are you a
toddler?"
Actually, there's a really good clip from the Dr. Phil thing, and someone on TikTok was just like, "This is when you know she's lying," and had something to do about I think it was like the knife thing that like Dr. Phil had talked to her about. And
now people say that they've said you're a crazy psychopath killer. Is that true, little one? Okay.
Little midget baby.
I'm going to hell. Sorry,
yeah. Oh, well, I'll be there with you.
You for how long?
Well, 6 years, but almost 7.
Now, you two met her on the neighbor's porch.
Yes. And my friend called me and was like, "You need to come down here right away." So I go over there and
leprechaun.
She's telling me 22. Like, look, she's not 22. And I go, "Are you 22? She said, "Yeah." But you could tell that it was just like, yeah, because I was told,
That's
yeah.
what I'm supposed to say.
Mm-hmm. So I go, okay. And she said, "I have my own apartment." And I'm like, "No, you don't." And she's like, "I do." And I'm like, "Show me." So she took me over to her house, and it was definitely her apartment. She had a bed in there. She had a TV. She had like some boxed food in her freezer. I was like, "Well, I have a couple kids at home. Come on down. Play with them, talk with us, whatever." So she came to our house. And
Bitch, I'm 22.
there, and she's been with us ever since.
Is that like you to do something like that?
We do
And you just
help.
find this random person on the street and say, "Come hang out with us."
Well,
Find this little
not
kid on the street and
typically.
just go,
We
"Hey,
help a
baby.
lot of
I know.
Hey,
people.
baby."
My motherly heart was like, there's no way she could take care of herself. I was like, I can't just leave her there.
How old were you at that time?
I was 8 years old, maybe almost 9.
So at 8 years old, you're living alone in an apartment.
Yes.
And you're getting your own groceries.
I actually didn't even go grocery shopping. My landlord took me to it was like a gas station or something just to pick up a couple things.
Well, where'd you get your food?
The Barnetts, they had given me like food that they didn't really eat, like canned foods and stuff like that.
Like a cat.
And how long had you been in the apartment when you
It wasn't that long. I think maybe about a month and a half.
Okay. Well, I have a granddaughter about that age, and I can't imagine her living in an apartment by herself. What did they say to you when they took you over there and dropped you off?
They just said, "We're going to get you an apartment and we're going to Canada."
Did you say,
Oh, shit.
"I'm 8"?
I didn't know what to say.
I love. Did you see his expression? Did you say I'm 8? No, Doc, that never came across her mind. She just was just like, okay.
I
The
didn't
whole
really
story is
know
crazy
what-
too. Hold on. Because even before this, too, like they like Michael talks about an instance where apparently Natalia tried to like poison Christine by putting pledge in her coffee, and that set them up to take her to like a crisis center or something to get evaluated for like
Yeah.
a mental disorder. And then there was like, oh, but while she was at the mental health facility, I think is when they changed her age to like 22. So they put her in the adult wing after
Mhm.
they changed it. And then there are like reports of her being like overtly sexual or saying things in a sexual manner to like the men that were
Yeah.
in the adult mental ward.
Not to mention the fact that the people at the mental ward were just like, "Hey, she's psychotic.
Right.
You need to get her
Yeah.
out of here. We can't control. She is psychotic." And the fact that that other people are saying that as well, which it led me down that road, is just like, okay, well, I could, if they're saying it, whatever kind of situation, I'm just gonna take it with a grain of salt. And then they started playing clips of that, and I'm just like, wait a minute. If
Well,
they're saying it too, like there's something here.
what really fucks with you, okay, in all honesty, is when I first watched the docu-series and then having that perspective that I had. And then 6 months later, the Natalia Speaks part comes out. And then my mind gets all fucked up again with even more stuff because
Until you hear that
you
last
have to
little
watch
bit.
it all because it's just like, well, this makes sense, but then I don't understand this. Like at the end of it, everyone's lying. Every single
That's what's like, who the
damn
fuck is lying
person
here?
is lying. Even
Well-
Natalia, like they're all lying about something.
We'll get to that because it kind of seems like that.
Mm.
But the thing is also,
Wow.
Christina's a whore.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So Christine's a whore, and she's sitting there teaching Natalia basically how to talk to men. And now,
Yeah.
mind you, she's
grooming.
she's 6-7 years old, and Christine's telling her these things. She doesn't know what. Like, that's another thing that people have to, like, when you watch this. This is a girl who's between, supposedly, I say that, between the ages of like 6 and 11, because nobody knows exactly how old
Mhm.
she is. She's between the ages of 6 and 11. Children are very like, they do what their parents tell them, but like they'll do what their parents tell them, the bad things. They don't do what they tell them, like, hey, clean your room, or
Right.
throw the garbage out. They won't do that. But if you tell them that, hey,
They do the
you can-
forbidden.
yeah, you can do this, and you could tell boys this, and you could tell guys this. Hey, tell guys this, and so this is what she was being taught by Christine, who Christine apparently had a thing for other midgets because there was a guy who proudly tells everybody he's a pretty big gentleman down in the basement of his pants. That Christine was sending him illicit pictures and stuff like that.
My
Yeah.
lord,
Yeah,
you're a
she's trying to
tripod.
she's trying to set her 7-8-year-old daughter up with that other dude, that other
Yeah.
little midget. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, this ain't a thing. What do you mean? Why
A
are we doing
part
this?
of me feels
Oh
though
my god.
about this whole thing is that like this kid was trafficked.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean,
Definitely.
because a lot of in a lot of articles that I have read about this case, no one ever talks about the first family that adopted her. Like
No.
that's conveniently left out.
I mean, they even found the family.
Yeah.
And it was
Wow.
just barely touched on even in the documentary. They were just
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
it
we
was-
found this little card that tells us who they are," and they go to talk to them, and some information comes out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And then you also see a family that was going to adopt her and they had a
Little midget
daughter
family?
around her age,
Mhm.
and then that fell through real quickly, and then the Barnetts got her out
Yeah.
of thin air. So there was like some weird thing with the adoption agency that they were using, that it had to be some type of like
Payoff.
trafficking thing.
It had to be some kind of payoff, but like what I got out of it is Christine, they adopted her because Christine wanted to make money off her one
Oh,
way or
yeah.
another.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Especially
because-
after they made money off of their other son, Jacob, because of him being a genius.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she was
One of
trying
those
to
kind of
actually prove that she could turn any regular kid into a genius, which that's never
No,
how it
no,
works.
no. He was autistic. She was trying to prove that she can make
Yeah.
an autistic kid into a genius. And she was
Right.
trying to prove that she can make a little Ukrainian girl who had dwarfism into a genius.
Yes.
Because because one thing that I forgot about was that Christine actually had a daycare at her home for autistic children.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and then this poor girl, she's putting math in front of her, math like genius math equations, and she can't do it.
Trigonometry.
Yeah, and she can't do
Yeah.
it. So what does she do? She pepper sprays her.
Yep.
Oh,
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Twice.
twice.
Oh my
And the-
god.
And the second time she tells her,
Jack, you haven't watched this?
No, I haven't watched it.
I
I've
love
seen
it.
interviews
I love
on
it.
YouTube.
I love it. I love it. I
Oh
love
my
it because
gosh.
it's the
Watch
natural
everything.
reaction
For our listeners too, and myself, where can we watch this docu-series?
on Max. It
Max
is
or
on
You can
Max.
watch
The
it
Netflix.
whole thing.
on Max. You can also watch it on Hulu.
Oh, cool.
You
I
can
have
watch
Hulu.
it on Discovery Plus. It's on ID. I call it
Plus?
ID Discovery because that's what they always called it. Like it's where you watch all your murder shows. My mom and I's favorite channel.
Of
Nice.
course.
So yes.
Oh no, dude, you need to watch this entire thing because there's no way we're gonna be
Yeah.
able to do this entire thing any justice because
No.
you know the dude's flamboyant as hell. He's sitting there going and he's trying to blame the kid at the very beginning. He's like, this kid's crazy. She's holding knives at her bed. She's trying to poison my wife, and she's saying she wants to kill the other children. She wants to burn our house down. And then all of a sudden it pivots to the mom somehow. And the mom's now the crazy one because she's pepper spraying the kid. The whole pledge in the coffee
Yeah.
thing. Supposedly she made the kid do it herself.
And
And
this
videoed
this
her.
reminds me
no-
of the movie. Was it Orphan?
The
But that-
orphan, yes.
And that's the whole time.
that comes up.
That's the whole time Natalia is saying that it's the plot of The Orphan, and that's what she's going with. That's her she's
Wow.
saying that Christine is saying it's a plot. It's Christine is saying these things, but it's literally the plot of The Orphan, and like she's trying to get her to be this genius, and like at one point Michael's like, yeah, I remember you at the end of the bed, and she goes, Michael, I couldn't even get onto your bed. How would I
can't
be
even
in?
see
You know what? Here's
the bed
one
posts.
thing though I'll say about that whole scenario. After a lot of the stuff that he said in the first season of the documentary, he let go.
Yeah.
In the second season, after he started blaming Christine for everything, the only thing that he still held on to was the knife thing.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel like it may have actually been true.
And
Because in a part of it, didn't she even say, yeah, she did have a knife?
yes, she did say she was hiding knives under her bed and things
Yeah.
like that. She did. And there was that, when she confronted him about the whole thing, it kind of weirded me out because it felt like, she can't remember these kinds of things. So maybe she has a little bit of dissociative identity disorder, like some other personality is kicking in at some points because there is a lot of things
Yeah.
that she can't remember that everybody else says did happen.
Not
Well, and also being so young too, also could be influenced by stories that she's heard as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
But I have to say this, and it's like random-ish, but Did anybody else get a little freaked out about her relationship with her like new dad, like
Yeah.
her
Yes.
Oh my
adoptive dad?
God.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are a little too
Fuck.
close. And I was like watching like the adoptive
The
dad
man's
and like
guy,
Natalia
yeah.
in the middle, and then like Cynthia Mance, and I was just like, but they're looking at each other
A
But
little
in
too
adoptive-
a little
closely.
too. Yeah.
It's not a mommy-daughter kind of thing. It's a... Well,
He's
I
got
mean,
a
it could be
mission.
if you went down that weird little kink.
I would be hiding
Yeah.
knives too if my adopted mom. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but she was like, but the thing was that like she was like that never happened, and then they cut to when she was a kid and said that she hid it under the refrigerator, under her bed, and she was like taken aback by it, like, oh.
Hmm.
So then it becomes like she's trying to like hide something too, and then it goes, and then but it's like they're all hiding something,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and the truth is somewhere in the middle, and it goes off the rails, and this poor girl's living by herself, and then Michael comes in, and he's like, "Who bought you the donuts?" And she's like, they were just there." And he goes, "Nobody bought you the donuts? Who bought you the donuts?" And she's like, "Well, the landlord did." And he's like, "Why did they buy?" And then I can't. Doesn't he throw the donuts out?
I don't know.
No, that wasn't clear whether. I mean, that cut away. From
Yeah, but he
whatever
was
happened
mad
to
that he was pissed off that she had people over to help her out, yet they were leaving the country.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
this-
let's talk about that a little bit, because that case
Okay.
with Michael Barnett, that's fucked. That the defense, nobody could bring up the fact that the kid was actually 8 years old. They went to Ukraine, they found her
Mhm.
mother, they found her birth certificate, they found everything, and nobody in that case was actually able to say that the child was 8 years old. Because
Yeah.
legally she was changed to 22. You abandoned a child, an 9-year-old child, in an apartment. But yet you can't
Oh
bring that
yeah.
up.
And it didn't even matter that like, you may have paid for her water and her electric and like, shove some groceries at her door every now and then. That's ridiculous.
It didn't even matter that they went to a dentist who had the worst hairpiece you've ever seen, and the dentist was like, "Yeah, she still has her baby teeth." And you see the pictures. Like, none of us are dentists. If you watch the film, if you watch the documentary, you can see there's teeth under her teeth. So she's still
She's not a shark. She doesn't have
Yeah.
like 50 different rows of teeth.
I don't know. We have
she's from the Ukraine. She might have got that little Chernobyl
Well, there
thing
are
going.
anomalies,
we do
Run
have
off from
somebody in
Chernobyl.
Congress that I call Sawtooth, because she's just got a messed up. Everything's just growing everywhere. I don't know, but I
Yeah,
don't know. She is a dwarf.
yeah.
Things happen.
But
No,
it's just,
no. I'm not going to even go that route. No, there's no way.
And then, but here's what bothered me was his reaction when they said to him that they changed her age in court, and he was just like, "Oh, really?" The way he reacted was like he knew something, and it feels like a lot of these people were kind of in on it, and they were kind of like, yeah, like a man said, paid off, or like they were
Mhm.
friends with them, and because Christine was known around the town and around that area because she had put out a book, and
She's
You know,
the
she
talk
had-
of the town.
yeah, I mean, she put out her
She's been
pictures and
around.
Well,
She's-
she was
yeah.
putting out other things too,
Yeah.
apparently.
her vagina. Anyway, um,
I mean, she had like they subpoenaed Facebook messages where she was just saying, going through a lot of things, a lot of people apparently, and while she was married, and it was
She
wild.
OnlyFans before OnlyFans was a
Oh, yeah.
thing.
She was Facebooking fans.
Yeah.
she wasn't that good looking
FBF,
either.
babe.
She was in Indiana
FBF.
4.
Dude, I mean, why do you think? Never mind. I'm not even gonna go that route. But
Oh man.
But
Cock-
let's just put it this way: how do hood rats become hood rats?
this is true.
All
This
right.
is true. But yeah, so she pepper sprays her. They put her in this place by herself. Then she gets kicked out because these fucking nosy neighbors. Mind you, once again, she's a child. She doesn't know how to act.
Right.
And did Detroit already played? It's done.
Lions. I don't know if they finished, but I just saw Ravens was earlier.
It's Swift versus Eminem's Super Bowl.
Oh God.
Huh?
Eminem. Who's Eminem?
I'll be honest. I feel like the Ravens had to lose because everyone was talking about the Super Bowl
Did they lose?
conspiracy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. Detroit
The
versus the Kansas City Chiefs, baby.
So they had to do the
Oh, my God.
opposite of what the conspiracy theory was, because
Yep.
like people had started pointing it out. Oh, look, the NFL is putting out the Super Bowl advertisements before the last games go, and it's like the different
shit.
colors that they had matched the teams that actually got into the Super Bowl for like
What was it,
years.
Ravens,
And then
Dolphins?
this year it looked like it was supposed to be the 49ers and
And the
the Ravens, and then the opposite happened. So I was watching. I was at like a Charlie Kirk little short, and this one girl that was on this, she's like, "No, I need the Chiefs to win. I have been all in on the situation with T Swift and Travis Kelce. Like,
Oh
I need
my
to see it
God.
through to the end. Like, they need to go to the Super Bowl.
it's-
I need to see her there while he's playing."
It's not over.
Somebody explain to me why everybody is like invested in this Taylor Swift crap.
It's T Swift. Yeah.
Because
Well, let's just say that the number 13 was my favorite number, and then she came along, and now I look like a Swiftie every time I get out my email address.
listen, because Taylor Swift goes out and fucks half of Hollywood, and somehow she still keeps her good girl image, and then
Yeah.
she writes multiple albums about these gentlemen who she's courted, and then these women are just feel empowered by what she says and what she does, and then now all of a
She's gonna be
sudden,
the next Madonna.
So she
Like,
started
she's
third
never
wave
to get
feminism?
married.
apparently,
You're never gonna see her pregnant either. You don't want her going that route and leading the.
Oh, I
They
can't
already
wait.
have the LGBTQ on their side. So
No,
yeah.
you know what? I have to say this.
No,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
say
they're
that.
pissed.
I need
They're
her.
pissed because
I
somebody
like her
said
and
she
Travis
might have been
Kelce
queer.
together. They need to stay together. I like it.
I
like
can't wait. I can't wait till she gets pregnant and all the Swifties get pregnant at the same
it. Oh my
time, like a
God.
si-
Did you guys
like a
see the
16.
AI?
No,
Like
I
a
didn't see
AI
pregnancy
pics?
pact?
like a pregnancy
Oh.
pact, like the
Nope.
16 and pregnant
Oh.
pact that they did. I cannot wait because there's going to be a lot of girls who are going to want to get pregnant at the same time as Taylor Swift.
Ah! Hey,
Could you
the AI. Someone made AI create images of her pregnant. So there's that. There's one where she's like have her feet with a pregnant belly.
That
Yeah.
might
On the-
stop
on the
Agenda
bed.
2030 though. If
And there's
everybody
another
gets
one where-
pregnant, there's going to be a baby boom situation, and they don't have to
Yeah.
replace us with illegals. Taylor,
That's what I was kind of. Do your
have
job,
a baby.
You're a
You
woman.
can solve the border
The
crisis.
Chiefs have to win the Super Bowl, so there's a Super Bowl baby.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine if Taylor Swift is the reason why humanity comes back? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'd just go ahead and take myself out, man.
Remember, what is it? World War II was the cause of the baby boom. Taylor Swift is going to be cause of the fucking baby boom of 2024. What?
Eras, baby. Eras.
It's just,
Oh
no,
my.
no. Just
It's
just
the
go ahead.
T-Swift era.
Look, I still say this. I understand Bill Gates' argument now, and I'm on board. So you pull that, I'm just gonna take me. I'm gone.
Dude, could you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my God. If she gets pregnant, right? Could you imagine the Vegas odds, the betting odds of all, like, when is she going to give birth? When, like, these girls are going to try to get pregnant and have the babies at the same time? Could you imagine the hospitals? You thought COVID was bad? A Taylor Swift wave of kids coming along?
Taylor Swift's child is going to
You're
be the
gonna have
second
so
coming of
many
Jesus.
scheduled C-sections. It's gonna
Oh
be
my-
ridiculous.
Oh my God. I want to see it happen. I want
don't.
to see. I do.
I
I
don't.
do. I want to see it so happen so badly. And the messed up thing is she probably won't tell anybody till she's like 4, like till she starts showing. And she's a small girl, so she's gonna show pretty much that pretty quick. And then like 2-3 months after she has her baby, you're gonna see this baby boom just happen of just women. But I don't, to be
It's
honest
gonna
with
be
you,
like WW2 all over again.
what was it? WWTD, what would Taylor do? Have a baby.
Well, I mean, look, why that just bothers me. It bothers me that people didn't we write off celebrities during the pandemic?
Oh man.
Like, I don't see nothing. Didn't we write off celebrities during the pandemic? So why is she like Jesus incarnate at this point?
Nope. Nope. Christian McCaffrey just scored 23-24.
We're just done with that idea. I don't look. I get in the 90s and things. We did follow, celebrities. We got all of our ideas from celebrities, and then COVID happened, and we're all in it together, and give me money because I'm going broke, and everybody's like, shut up. We're doing this too, and you're millionaires sitting here telling us to give you money, and you got The Rock and Oprah saying, hey, everybody donate to Maui because Oprah's got she's got land down there, and but yet Taylor Swift still has a hold on our culture somehow.
Yes.
She has like the
It's like-
California economy in her hands.
It's like the white version of Lizzo without the racism. Why? Why are we doing this?
And the fat assism.
Well, that too. She's like a third the size of Lizzo,
A
but
third? She's a tenth of the size of fucking Lizzo. Are you out of your mind?
The flu did was
I
a
did
third of
like
her
watching
size.
that one video where Lizzo's sitting there running on a treadmill as she's eating ice cream. Like, bitch, what are you doing?
Oh my god.
Like,
Listen.
seriously, I'm working out so I can eat ice cream. No, that's not
Yeah.
how any of that works.
Lizzo's like a fucking giant
Wasn't a
roast beef
banana
sandwich.
split, was it?
Oh, well,
Giant roast beef sandwich.
Lizzo's like a giant roast beef sandwich, and Taylor is like the cheese on the sandwich. It's just no.
She's like the
Fucking
slivered
kid.
onion.
Yeah, that's one piece of onion.
She's
But-
the
But
one swipe of
I
mayo.
just don't get it. I seriously don't understand. We came back from like literally putting celebrities on this pedestal here. And how is Taylor Swift continuing to have a grasp on everybody? Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'll
People
be
got
honest.
mad because a newspaper printed an article that said she might be queer, and everybody revolted.
And you see what happened, right? They laid off 20,000
Wow.
people. Taylor Swift caused the decline of the news agency. Do you understand how fucking powerful this woman is?
She causes earthquakes.
Do you not understand this?
She
They
did.
printed out an article that said Taylor Swift is queer, and they got the newspapers shut down. This woman has magical powers. I'm telling you, the next baby boom is when Taylor Swift gets pregnant.
Oh God.
Yep. That's
That may be
well, you know
true.
what,
Flag
Taylor?
it, as Sam Bongino would say. Flag it.
Yeah.
Mark this.
Flag it.
I called it.
Mark this down. All right, hold on. What is today? The 28th
Of January 2024.
Mark this down, Joe.
2024.
Jeremy.
Taylor Swift
Look
is
that
going to
up, Jeremy.
cause the next baby boom.
Taylor baby boom. I'm writing it down.
Did y'all hear that
Done.
new Tom McDonald song with Ben Shapiro?
Yes.
Oh my
I thought it was
God.
okay. I kind of liked it. I thought it was okay.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. Had he had more inflection into it and just sitting there, just look at the facts, dude, come on.
Well,
You
he's
can
not
do
a
better.
rapper.
Your
It's
I don't
Ben
care.
fucking
Your shows
Shapiro.
are
Yeah.
better than that, though.
Hey, it's better than this. It's better than this.
He looked,
I wanna
okay,
say-
sorry. Am I the only one that looked like he looked like a pathetic little dork in
I didn't see that either.
Yes. No, she is correct. He did. He's just like, look at my charts. My pockets are fatter than Lizzo. I'm just
No,
what?
not that
okay.
part. No,
That
no.
was a good
The
line,
part where
actually,
he's
that he had
sitting there
there.
in the hoodie with the hood up, and I'm like, you look like my 8-year-old waiting for the bus. Like, stop.
And everybody's just like, hey, he's great.
I just
Oh my God,
listen,
we'll get back to Natalia in just
Yeah,
a minute, folks. We're
we got
definitely
derailed as hell.
shaming it right now.
listen. We're still talking pop culture.
Hey, we made it 50 minutes in, so it's all good.
I know.
Let's just keep it real facts. Don't care how you feel, man. If you want my pronouns, I'm the man who don't respect.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Lizzo, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a whack.
That was a good one.
Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You going to prison. I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
He looks like a little kid in an oversized sweatshirt. I'm sorry. No,
He does.
I will say the best, I would have to say, one of the best videos about this whole thing has to be Michael Knowles' reaction to it. You have to play it because he had no idea that Ben was in the, like, he had no idea that Ben was in the music video, 2 spitting bars. His reaction was hilarious.
Well,
I just watched it yesterday.
While you're looking that part up, like for me, like okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like any of the Daily Wire crew. Like they're snobby little assholes. They are mainstream media for the internet age. That's the way I look at them. They are that.
Yeah.
You know, you got fucking Candace
Matt
Owens
Walsh,
is their
Edgar
attack dog.
Clayton.
Matt Walsh is that smug asshole kind of thing. The only one that's actually kind of worth a damn and they kind of
Andrew.
corrupted him was Jordan Peterson.
Oh, Peterson. Yeah.
And then he
Oh,
became a dick
case.
for a while once he joined Daily Wire.
Why was he doing this whole Two-Face thing with his
There's a big
suits?
case on him right now.
Yeah.
Like he's
Well,
getting.
that's the
He's
Canadian
gonna go
thing.
through re-education thing.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
they're forcing him or losing his. Dude, you don't even need your license. What do you even care about?
Yeah,
I
you
know,
already
what
have the
the fuck?
followers.
He's not even doing anything. Which, by the way, okay, there's an old
Kermit
documentary
the
about
Frog.
Jordan Peterson, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. This is like before Jordan Peterson became like Jordan Peterson, like, and this whole controversy happened in the University of Toronto. And I had watched it a few years ago. You know this? I'm not joking. This guy had like Nazi art in his
Oh,
house.
shit.
I'm not
Well,
joking.
you know, not all the Nazis were bad people.
Not all the
but, you
Nazis were
know,
bad.
No, it was. It,
Well, I mean, they weren't. Look at Warner von
alarming.
Braun. He only wanted to make fucking rockets. Too bad they landed on the wrong planet. I mean, that was a famous saying from him. He was just there to build rockets. He wasn't there to kill the Jews, you know?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I get the point behind that as far as that goes, because we did take a lot of them over, and a lot of these people actually did push our country further as far as that goes. I'm not making any kind of excuse for Nazis or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, with that whole thing. But if you have Nazi imagery in your shit, you got a problem, you know?
Yeah.
Just like the whole DeSantis with the sun in red and the troops marching.
Oh yeah.
Oh, son.
Well,
That's
I mean,
a different
there's-
story altogether.
Yeah.
All right,
I
here's
mean,
my-
I was like playing devil's advocate. I was just like, well, is he like being a psychologist? Is it like interesting because of the psychological aspects of how you can get like millions of people to go along with some crazy shit?
I mean, we're watching it.
I
in
can't
real
get
time.
there. Sorry, I can't get there.
We're watching it in real time, so.
Oh, here we go.
Two genders, boys and girls. They can't cancel my message because I'm the biggest independent rapper in the whole freaking world. Think that I'm racist, yeah, alright. I'm not ashamed because I'm white. If every Caucasian's a bigot, I guess every Muslim's a pushing guns, ain't promoting.
Yeah, look at the graphs, look at my charts. You're blowing money on strippers and cars. You go into prison, I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are. Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people download this. Let's get a billboard #1.
This ain't rap, this ain't money causing clothes. We ain't selling drugs, we ain't gonna overdose.
Wow.
We ain't pushing
That was pretty good. Is there more Ben in here? So we'll skip ahead.
dollars in the hole.
I guess Ben naturally has an inclination to be a rapper because he talks so fast.
Oh, that's so
I
awesome.
understand him half the
They
time
made him
when
do
he's
rap
having a
god.
conversation. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That was a very convincing rap
That's
performance
amazing.
from Mr. Ben. Keep going.
I don't care if I offend you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw his face, he's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
this
because
is-
in the beginning of the video, he's like not really like watching. He's reading the lyrics on a piece of paper and he's like looking up and down. So he didn't really notice that Ben was in it at all until he's like, I like when Tom McDonald's like, sometimes I ask myself, what would Ben do? And he started laughing, and then he saw Ben's face up on the screen. And he's like, wait a second, what?
Oh shit.
It was pretty funny.
Like with just
Anyway.
that whole thing though, it kind of does. It shows exactly what I'm kind of saying. You know, they're smug. Now with rap and everything, I get it. It's that kind of culture. You're supposed to be smug, but that's who they are on a daily damn basis. You know, that is their persona as far as that goes. Like, it's a problem. It really is. Now they have done a lot of good as far as culture wise. You know, I'm not gonna say that, but they are mainstream media for the internet age. They lie themselves too. They're not going to tell you exactly 100% truth because they were all about Trump, and then all of a sudden they're all about DeSantis and shitting on Trump, and then DeSantis drops out, and now they're trying to get back on the Trump. It's the same shit.
So, for the past few weeks, maybe the past month or so, past few weeks, I would say, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed on the internet, on like a few people that that are kind of on the fringes of things, and they call it as it is on both sides. One of the biggest things that they have been talking about recently is the new narrative people, right? And how they all are in it together.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It is true.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's all about the bennies.
You know,
It is true. I do know a lot of things in the back end of things, and it is true. They do work together. Some of the shit, like the only thing within 2023 with the infighting. Well, I'm not gonna say the only thing, but the very few things within 2023 with the infighting on the right, you know, the Republican Party and everything that wasn't manufactured was Candace Owens going after Crowder. That was it.
Mhm.
Everything, well, almost everything else was manufactured, including Calendar Gate.
What's that?
What?
Really?
You know how everybody was pissed about the calendar because conservative dad was taking racy photos for a calendar? That was manufactured.
Because they were talking about because Riley.
Oh,
Gaines
Riley
or
Gaines.
whatever, and was it Red?
Riley Gaines is a
Josie, the
swimmer.
redhead-
You're going to find her in a
Libertarian.
bathing suit any
Yeah.
damn way. Stop
Yeah.
being pissy about that. Number one, she gets out of a damn out
Oh.
of a pool, and you're going to see her doing this. She's
You're
going to
saying
be
the
laying on the
outrage-
side of a pool. Yeah,
You're saying the outrage of the Christians.
Yeah, it was
and
it was a
right-wing.
manufactured thing.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, they went after Kimberly Klasick. What was she doing in that except
She was a stripper.
showing her back?
Wasn't she? No, because
They went after the
here's thing.
redheaded libertarian
Kim
who just
Klasick-
showed her ankles.
Kimberly Klasick and Candace Owens have had a beef for a while. They have.
Well, they have, yeah, but I'm just saying it was
Ever
a
since
it was a
because
manufactured
no,
thing.
because when Kimberly Klasick was running for, I think it was Congress in DC or somewhere, it was like somewhere in DC in Maryland. Like she did a video of her like walking through the streets, and it was like copied off of somebody else or whatever. Her and Candace Owens got into it on Twitter. And then Candace brought up, she's like, oh, well, at least I wasn't a stripper type thing. And I was like, oh, fuck, here we go.
Damn.
Look, she went after. Look, me and Ashley, when me and Ashley were still doing off label, and the whole thing with the Crowder Candace Owens thing about her wife, I was on that side. I was like, okay, so this is a kind of fucked up story. Maybe Crowder's on the, he's in the wrong here. And then I started going back and just watching things and looking at clips. The Daily Wire crew knew from the very beginning.
Yeah.
They knew about it all. There was even an episode of like Backstage or something like that where they start talking about Crowder having, elective surgery because his chest is caving into his heart. I mean, it is considered elective surgery because you can
and so
live.
cancer treatments during COVID.
Right.
Yeah, but then he comes out all buff at the end.
They start talking about that whole thing, and at the beginning of it, they're just like, it flashes, it takes away the Backstage screen, and it's on Candace Owens, and they know they're going to be talking about Crowder, and she looks mortified. And this was just after this event happened with his wife. She looks fucking mortified. And then every single one of them start attacking him. They're like, well, he's going in there, and they had Jeremy Boring saying like, I just can't wait till the show's over so I can text him and say, hope you don't make it, buddy. They're saying all these awful shit, and fast forward to everything like that, and I'm just like, no, hold on. They knew they're trying to take Crowder out because they know once, with the whole debacle with Daily Wire and Crowder, they're trying to take him out because they know he can rival them. And, the more I looked into it, the more I was like, no, Candace Owens was a fucking attack dog for that shit. She knew. There were multiple times where she was saying things like, don't make me go public with the information I know. And then all of a sudden, a couple months later, the shit drops on that Substack. Now, she knew. She took that information to that Substack person that wrote that article. She knew about it. She attacked him to try to ruin Mug Club and everything that Crowder was doing because he was going to rival them.
Yeah.
The entire Daily Wire crew did that. If you go through the contract about it.
It was the podcast wars.
It was new Howard Stern versus Opie and Anthony.
If you go through the contract about it and everything, yes, they were trying to sign this. Oh, this is boilerplate shit. No, nobody else got that shit. Brett Cooper said, "Oh, yeah, it was easily removed from my contract, so you could have just argued." Well, they did argue. He brought information about it. They did argue that, and they tried to continue to push to keep him silent. No, that shit was. That was the only thing. Well, one of the big major things in 2023 that was not manufactured.
Before that whole controversy happened, there was hints and everything that there was going to be a merger between Mug Club and Daily Wire. There was always those hints. And I remember when those hints came out, I was like, it's never going to work. It's two alphas. It's not going to work. The energy is different. Like it's just not. There's no way. It's just there's no way it's going to work.
You got stuffy suit types with somebody who's just like, hey, fuck you all. No, it can't.
Yeah. What do they call it? Ranger panties or whatever. Like, come on, but I do have to say the one thing that gets me though is like, how come no one ever really does talk about like what happened with Jared? What happened with Sven Computer? What happened with Quarter Black? What happened with Dave Landau? Like
Owen Benjamin.
Well, Dave did come out.
Benjamin.
Yeah. Dave did come out. Dave did say some things that
Dave,
I would have to believe are true. Knowing some of the things on the inside. Quarter Black, I don't know. I'm not too
he's
totally
playing it
sure
cool
because
he's black.
He's only a quarter, so he's kind of cool.
He's quarter cool. But no, it's I can understand the controversy with Crowder and everything like that. But
yeah.
So you're saying the news is just like Vanderpump Rules and all that kind of stuff, where it's just already scripted out.
I don't know.
So we know what's going to happen.
I don't, yeah, I mean,
that's probably why Scandival was like huge, because it wasn't planned. no one knew.
Yeah.
And it happened underneath everyone's noses, and then it comes out, and everyone's like, "Wait, we're supposed to know this."
Well, I
But they
don't know
didn't.
anything about Vanderpump, so
The best show on TV.
I
Hello.
got two things to say. One thing
I don't
first,
watch TV.
on the Vanderpump Rules, I'm surprised that they didn't end up staying together, Raquel and Tom, because they're the whole cause of it. But and then the other thing I was going to say, I still enjoy watching Crowder's podcast over Daily Wire. I listen to Matt Walsh though. I do listen to him. He could be of a stern.
He made a very interesting tweet today. He's like, I can't respect the people who question the moon landing. It is the number one like best accomplishment for America or whatever. And the comment section was really funny. They're like, so you can't respect someone because they got questions. Like,
yeah, right.
So you're saying that you're gonna just go along with a lie because it's considered the number one, like the biggest accomplishment for American history. Okay, so that got me down a rabbit hole today.
Matt Walsh?
Nice.
Matt Walsh said that?
The moon land. Yeah, Matt Walsh said that.
Oh, Matt Walsh.
So I've been on moon landing stuff before we even got on here today.
Hey, I'll give an applause to the person who took the video on the moon who got left behind when the shuttle
when the
took
shade
off.
left.
Like,
I absolutely
hey man,
hate
survival.
I absolutely hate the moon landing conspiracy theory. Not only is it baseless and stupid, but it also seeks to undermine the greatest achievement in American history.
This is a guy who fucking believes in aliens.
Okay.
Yes, here we go. No.
I live close to Huntsville, Alabama. We have the Space and Rocket Center here. Everything that we used to go there, there are some replicas of things, but the technology is there. We never lost it. We advanced from analog to digital. All right.
And
What they're
that's why
talking
we
about
can't go
with
back
like
to the moon.
right, what they're talking about with like computers and things like that, it's a grid of wires that are looped together. You send electricity through one side, send electricity. It's like literally playing grids kind of situation. It exists. We did go. Everything that they showed with the simulation, it's even on the video, ABC simulation. Stop with the whole damn bullshit with that. Just because there was a fly, you understand that was a simulation. Yeah, they did put it on camera to show you how it happened, but it happened.
Well, then let us tell us that. They don't say
They did.
Do they?
Says ABC simulation on the fucking video.
Hold on. Amanda just figured it out.
So-
Wait, you didn't know the aliens took those shots? Come on. No,
They
actually,
killed JFK.
you know who took those shots? Who killed JFK again? What's that guy's name? I thought
CIA?
George
yeah.
Bush Sr.
Oh, who was supposed to?
Who was supposed to? Lee Harvey Oswald. That's it.
Yeah,
Lee Harvey Oswald took those shots.
And then was shot by Jack Ruby.
Who was a gangster who got murked in jail. Like,
No, but I mean, they
just saying.
even have
and then we're told
they
about
have a
how
mirror.
JFK won because of like mobs in Chicago, but whatever, supposed to
Is it me or is it like everything
Another
in the news?
podcast.
Is everything in the news like based off movies? Like Natalia Grace was based off Orphan, JFK was based off fucking something else. And like it feels like all these movies are trying to tell us the true meaning. Like we're getting closer and closer to fucking Demolition Man. We really are. Me and Rich are talking about this. Like there's bunkers around
Three
here.
seashells are coming up.
Yo.
Still don't know how to use them.
I had to have, I think it was Biz, explain to me what that meant.
I see. I'm not the only one. I had no idea. I told you, Rich. I wasn't the only one.
But look, I can't say anything. It took me 26 years to figure out what making an ass out of you and me means. Okay.
Oh.
I had to spell it out in my head 26 years later to be like, oh. Okay.
But
It's okay.
yeah,
It took me
I was-
19 years to find out that my parents weren't married when I was conceived, so you know.
Oh.
It took me
Wow.
19 years. And I was like, "Oh, you guys were married in like December, and I was born in July."
took me 8 years to find out my dad wasn't my real
Oh.
dad.
So Gothic's got her accounts back.
Oh.
Nice.
Guys, it only took me 20 years to figure out that you can drive with the lights on in your cab, and that's legal.
It took me 36 years to realize that it's not illegal.
Yeah, it's like, no one gives a shit.
Every
Turn on your
parent is like,
fucking
turn it
lights,
off. It's illegal.
Oh, the lights
Oh,
thing?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn that on a fucking TikTok. I had no idea.
TikTok, you learned that.
Literally, it took me till TikTok to realize that.
I was like,
What?
turn the lights
Hey.
off. There's a cop. There's a cop. There's the lights off.
I got a question. What happened in Miami not too long ago? Y'all
Oh,
remember
there's-
that line of police officers? Has anybody
Oh.
heard anything about that?
No.
It could have been aliens. No one has video because everyone's all stunned. It's like, oh, this is different. You can't just pull out your phone and record. You're trying to run away for survival or seeing what these aliens are doing. These blurry images, like pretty much Bigfoot.
Dude, I cannot sit there and believe that every officer on the force was called in for kids fighting with sticks and fireworks.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
I also don't believe.
Well, but you know what?
narrative.
At the same time, I could believe it though too, because if they were playing with fireworks and shit, they could think it was something different. You know,
Yeah.
just like
What?
sound
Holograms.
and stuff.
Blue
Have you
I'm
not s-
telling you, no. Everyone says aliens. I'm telling I think aliens are actually demons. That's just my.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, me
my
too.
thing.
I think angels, demons thing.
I think
spiritual realm.
aliens are already here and we don't know, like the MIB.
Do you think NPCs are real?
Oh my
Like
God,
there
do
are
I?
real
Fuck
NPCs.
yeah, they're real.
Yeah, you ever hear somebody talk about the Democrats? Yeah, that's an NPC.
Well, no, like, like I say, whether you were wrapped in flesh and blood or encased in silicone, you are a bot. It's true. I mean, if you're just going off the programming, you can't break your programming for fear that something may just upset you in a certain way, and you might come off as a conspiracy theorist, which is damn near all been right so far.
Let me tell you, the thing that cemented my thing about conspiracy theory was JFK. I was convinced my entire life that JFK was done by one person. And then it comes out in the news that it wasn't, that the CIA did it. And then they pivoted to aliens really quickly and nobody talked about it. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Right now,
CIA.
Biden is
CIA.
disclosing
No
those.
one have questions about. I had questions
They're
about
not the same.
JFK from the time that I was like probably in middle school, high school.
Thank
Because
you.
every time I had watched the History Channel and it'd be like, oh, but could this happen? And I was like, I got questions.
The magic
So-
bullet turned around.
Exactly. Magic bullet theory. I could call that bullshit out in like 5 seconds. It makes no sense. I was like
Somehow
13 and I
this-
was like, nope,
Somehow
CIA
this
fucking
bullet
did
goes
that
through
shit.
him, does a 180, goes back through him, and then kind of curves around and does a no.
It must have been one of those crazy 22s that bounce around inside your body, like people say.
Mm.
But
Okay.
it was not a
so-
22 round, though.
Like the cop killers where they smash up and somehow spin inside you, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
No. I can understand hitting a bone and bouncing off, but it's not going to just ricochet everywhere.
Yeah, your body's not a pinball machine now. Come on.
Right.
Pinball wizard. Never. So you know how I asked about, and do you think NPCs are actually a real thing? Okay. What about human clones? What if the NPCs are actually human clones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best fucking example of human clones. John Fetterman.
Okay.
The dude had a
Okay.
stroke, can't say shit, goes into the fucking hospital for depression for a fucking month, and then comes back out making complete 100% common sense arguments.
Yeah.
What? Did they
Did you
just
s-
get an upgrade?
Did you see that? No, I think they fucked up in his programming and accidentally just put the wrong program in by mistake. Did you see him? This dude is just, I still think he's a piece of garbage. But if you don't know anything about his history, he was in the news for pointing a shotgun at a black gentleman
Yes.
in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Yes.
Like, this is the man that they elected, and they were just like, this guy's the greatest. This guy's the greatest. And nobody, that was brought up maybe once, I heard, but that was it. Everything else. Now he's going on top of his roof. They were protesting in front of his house about Palestine, a bunch of people who were pro-Palestine. He went on top of his roof on his neighbor's house and just threw out an Israel flag and was just holding it on the roof, just antagonizing them. This dude, I believe, is a clone. I believe they cloned him.
No way.
Do you ever see Multiplicity, where they just keep going in different ways? I think they got it the wrong. This one got away. It was the wrong one. She touched my pecker, Steve, and it was just. They were like, fuck. And they're trying to wrangle him in. And he's just like, no, I think what Joe Biden's doing with the border is absolutely wrong. And I don't think, and they're like, wait a minute, what? Turn it off. Turn it off.
Where's
turn
his
it
handler?
off.
Where's his handler?
But no, it is the strongest case for that because I don't see
There you
NPCs
go.
are real. I'm forced to work with them every day. Yes. But it is the strongest case for it because, like, you got Biden who can't complete a sentence whatsoever.
Oh,
You got
that was
everybody
great what you
else
just said recently.
on the Democrat side who just continue. Don't mess with the women of America
Yeah.
unless you want to get the
If you want
benefit.
the benefit? It's like, okay.
What, a
think I want the
sandwich?
benefit.
But you got all these people who just keep making these
Clean clothes.
these arguments about these things. And then all of a sudden, Fetterman goes to the hospital for depression, comes back, and he makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Like speech impediment gone, the stammering is. This is the same dude who's just
Maybe
like
he
in
could
his-
finally relax because he didn't have the pressure of potentially having to wear a suit every day. So when they changed the requirements, they
Man.
didn't need to wear a suit. Then his asshole unclenched, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, now I can finally relax."
But
I can breathe again.
You know why
Yeah.
they actually changed that back to where they had that decorum thing? Because
Oh,
people
'cause,
were threatening to show up in like bathing suits.
No,
and
they
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Someone
and shit.
did. Was it Ted Cruz? I don't know who it
No,
was.
no,
but
he was going. He said he was going to, but
could have
it
sworn
was
somebody
like-
did do that, and then they're like, okay, we can't have this then.
who was it? It was Katie Foster or something. It was some.
no, please.
Democrat.
No.
It was
no,
a guy.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought you
it
said
was-
Katie Porter. I was like, no, please don't do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
No.
It was Katie Porter who said she
Oh,
was
God.
going to come into it wearing a bikini, and they're like, nope.
Decorum.
She was gonna come in a bikini and do math. Like, this is 7. The average person, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up, Katie. No, well, John, wear a suit, please. I do not
Yeah.
want to hear this while she's wearing a
fucking suit.
bikini.
I haven't seen him in the Senate since, honestly.
I
I
have.
haven't either.
I've
okay.
seen him in committees and things like that. I have
Wearing a suit?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
It's
Does it look like his head gets redder and
still
redder
show-
because it's a little tight
He,
around the neck?
Fetter neck.
he will still show up in his hoodie and shorts, but he changes when he's there when he has to go out on the floor.
Could you imagine? He's probably one of those old guys who just strips completely naked when he gets changed, and he's just walking around with his old balls just swinging all over the place in the fucking gym locker room, and he just wants to have a conversation with you, and he puts his leg up on the
Oh.
stool, and he's like, "Hey, what? Israel is good, right? You think
And they're
Israel's
like,
good?"
decorum, John, decorum.
He's like, I think Lake Titicaca needs some more wells. I don't know.
John, you can't just have your balls on Senator Durbin while you're having a conversation about Israel. Even though
Well, what
Senator
about
Durbin,
those interns in the Senate
That's
room
a-
the other day?
That's a power move.
it is a power move. And again, you don't want your balls anywhere near Dick Durbin because he might take a lick at it.
This
Yeah.
is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. When we get together, things go off the
Oh,
rails.
yeah.
Oh,
I was just saying, should we turn this ship around back to Natalie Grace? 'Cause
I don't know.
this is more
I don't
fun.
know if we can
Yes,
find
yes,
that back
because here,
yet.
okay, hold on. All right. I can turn.
It was fun while
I
that.
can
right this
try.
ship.
You could try. All right, so getting back.
I forget where we were.
I don't know.
He was
But
on
we
We were
will
Dr.
say
talking
Phil.
about the Michael
So-
Bennett case where
Yeah,
she was
Dr.
actually
Phil
8 years old, and they put her
Yeah,
in the, okay.
so yeah, and then she was on Dr. Phil, and so there was a couple. this guy is a bishop, and it's Antoine and Cynthia Mans, and they have adopted kids and different things like that. And so on the second season of the Natalia Grace thing, like, she speaks out, but at the end of the thing, you just watch and you're like, oh, this poor kid, like, she got through this whole thing. And then at the end, Antoine and Cynthia call producers and be like, we're done with her. She's great. She's tweaking.
She's crazy. This is after the entire it's come to a good closing. The movie is coming to the end where you see the girl get adopted by her family, and the judge is like,
and
you're
feel
either
like
19,
an asshole for questioning her at all.
Yeah, you're 19 or 30 something. We don't care. It doesn't matter. The Mans are going to adopt you. You are now Natalia Grace Ariana Mans. And she's crying. They're all crying. She's crying with the father. And then it cuts to 2 weeks later. We receive a phone call from the Mans. And they say all of that she's nuts. She's crazy. She's got the whole... it's nuts. But this, I guess, this is this article is what talks about it. Natalia Grace's adopted mother, Cynthia Mann, opens up for the first time following the shocking revelations in the second season finale of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. In a recent interview with Us Sun, Cynthia shared that their family are actively working through their issues after claiming to see concerning behavior from their daughter. We're absolutely perfect. No, she doesn't live with us, but we are fine, she told the outlet, adding that Natalia is currently living with friends, but they're still in regular contact following their fallout revealed in the bombshell finale of the ID documentaries. Though Cynthia admitted that it has been rough since the show aired, that said that with God, we're going to make it. I'm in prayer. The show was followed up by the 2023 docuseries, which centered on Natalia's first adoptive parents, Christine and Michael Barnett, and their claims that the Ukraine orphan who had been diagnosed with a rare dwarfism condition was actually an adult and terrorized their family. It was revealed that this season, through a DNA test, that Natalia is about 22 years old, meaning she was about 9 when she moved in with the Barnetts. Through Natalia's...
So if it's saying that she was 9 when she moved in with the Barnetts, so she wasn't 6?
No.
No. That's I think they're writing that wrong.
That's where they lost me. All this age shit.
She was in that apartment by the time she was 8 or 9. She was in that apartment alone by the time she was about 8, 9 years old.
Oh my God.
That first apartment where she was like
fuck?
kicked out after about 3 months.
But we don't know, because when they talked to the doctors said that she was around the age between 6 and 11 when she went to the doctor, and that's when they got her age changed to 22.
But they went to Ukraine and found her real mother, her birth mother, and the birth certificate.
Oh,
which was September of 2003.
Yeah.
So when she was in that apartment, she was around 8 or 9 years old. That first apartment, which she was there for like 3 or 4 months or so.
Yeah.
Yes, alone.
Wow.
So all of that was actually true. All of that age shit. It was actually true. They did abandon a child.
Oh,
and that's what I was saying with that court case.
Oh my God.
That they couldn't bring up that she actually was a child, because the judge said you can't talk about this. Legally, she is 22 years old,
which is wild. Which is really wild. And
yes,
yeah.
And the judge said you can't talk about it because legally her age was changed, so you cannot bring up the fact that she was 8, 9 years old in this house or in this apartment.
And she would have to legally change her age back when that was happening for them to be able to do anything, right? Or no?
But being that young, she couldn't have a say.
Naturally, when you're 8, it's like, when the laws tell you, no, you're 22, you're not 8. What? Like,
Mm-mm.
so.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
My head's everywhere.
it's a messed up story. You actually have to watch
Yeah,
it. There's
it
no
is a
way
messed
you
up
can do it
story.
justice.
No.
Jenny,
No.
if you're watching, we have a docuseries too. So watch
And
it.
they're all about 45 minutes long. And by the time you're done, you're like,
Your brain hurts.
next. What
I will-
happens next?
I do want to say one thing. When Natalia and Michael first come together for the first time after all that time, and they had that conversation, which
I didn't
it
see
literally
that interview.
devolved into a fight. That was Antoine's fucking fault. That was that
Absolutely,
preacher's fault.
100%. He came in too hot, and he didn't give her the right attitude to go into it if they wanted to have a conversation.
Right.
I would say not excusing Michael at all, because he's just a whiny little bitch, and like any little thing that you'd say, he's like one of those people where you have to placate them first and say a positive thing before you give them a negative thing, and then
Right.
follow it up with another positive thing, because he's too like fragile with his own sensibilities that he can't even take any amount of criticism, or else he's like, nope, I'm gone. This is just ridiculous.
He's
I
like-
need to get into my car and leave.
The second interview, because the first interview he just leaves. The second interview, she asked about the age, and he goes, "We said we weren't talking about this. We said we weren't talking." And he
What the
almost
fuck?
left again. Yeah, he almost
Right.
leaves again.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
but that probably is a legal thing, though.
Right. Well, I mean, he couldn't. He was already found not guilty anyway. They couldn't have got him for
Right.
anything else because that'd be double jeopardy. They wouldn't have been able to go after him again.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
wondering
first
if they
interview-
could, though, if
No.
new evidence or something like that. If
No,
something
one-
was
No,
triggered.
because
No.
that's double
No?
jeopardy. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. If
Yeah.
I kill somebody and I am acquitted in the court of law, you find evidence that concrete proves it, you cannot bring it up again. It is the same instance. Now, if I were to go back and kill somebody again, yeah, I could do that. But
Which,
for
by
the
the way, it's a
same
very
instance, you
excellent
cannot be charged
Ashley
twice.
Judd movie, Double
Yeah, well.
Jeopardy, and was it a
Remember those long
Jones.
Remember those long runs of those kind of movies, like the Pelican Brief and Double Jeopardy?
Well, what
In the
was that
90s?
one? The
Was it
dude who
Spike?
was organizing everything from prison. God, what was that movie's name?
Memento.
Oh no, with Jamie Foxx in it.
Yeah,
Oh, I forget the name.
Law-abiding citizen.
yeah,
Yeah.
That one was
Yeah.
great.
Gerard Butler.
I've never seen that one.
It's a
You
really
need to
good one.
watch it.
Yeah, that's
What's
a good
the one?
It's like you have to
With-
prove it in courts, don't you?
Not Michael Keaton, but
Falling Down?
The one that's married to Catherine
City Jones.
David
Michael
Jones?
Douglas. The Michael Douglas
Yeah, Douglas.
movie where like they try to make him kill himself or something. And like it's like I don't know. It's like basically what happens is that things happen. His life goes to shit or whatever,
Falling
and
down.
they try to make him kill himself, and then he jumps off of a building into like something, and it ends up being like a floaty thing, and they're like, "Ah, surprise! It's actually like your birthday."
Oh my god. Kind of
I
like
don't know, it's-
Truman Show in a way.
I have to find it.
Like,
Now,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think about this movie all the time.
I just
don't
saw
know.
a Michael Douglas movie last night,
You know,
Shining Through.
and it could be a
It's really
dream. I'm not sure.
It could be a dream. I don't know if it's a real movie or it could be a dream.
good. Hey, it sounds like a movie to
I'm
me.
not
yeah.
100% sure.
But yeah, that first argument that they were having, you know, the first conversation that devolved into an argument, that was that Antoine dude's fault, because he's just like, you know, Natalia says, please don't cuss. And he's like, well, I'll do my best. I talk a certain way. I'll do my best. And then he says, you know, she says, she asked him a question, and he's like, well, that's a hell of a question. And dude snaps. Like,
Yeah.
just saying that's a hell of a question is not just saying this fucking bitch, all biting
Is this
bastard
on the
bitch. My,
docuseries?
you know, you can't. And then he's just like, you're not gonna disrespect God in front of my presence.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my
yeah.
god.
Is
I mean,
it a
it
perfect
was-
murder?
Oh,
I don't know.
Mm,
The
that was the
game?
90s.
The game. That's it.
The game.
The
I haven't seen
game.
But
It
yeah,
is. I like those whole psychological thriller.
I've been
like,
on this binge
ones.
of watching old
It's-
movies.
Oh, those are the good
It's
ones.
good.
well,
Like,
I was
saw Point Break, I saw Copland, and I saw the Untouchables. All
oh,
good
that's
movies.
such a great movie.
Fuck
Another
yeah.
I called this one a while ago, and it's coming to fruition. I was talking to somebody else about my DVD collection, how I go and collect DVDs.
Oh, yeah.
There's people like another person at my job was just like, yeah, I went and bought a DVD player, and I go, really? Yeah, I'm just buying DVDs. I go, oh really? He's like, yeah, these streaming services suck. I'm like,
Oh,
I told
shit.
you that over a
Mhm.
year ago. I told you they're taking things out. The streaming, because everything's streaming
Sounds
now.
like you got to take somebody out, Davey.
Yeah, listen. The streaming services suck. People are, they're going slower and slower. The picture quality isn't great at all.
Your internet
and-
cuts out.
Yeah, your internet cuts out, and so what are you left with? If you buy the actual DVDs, you can watch it anytime you want without an issue. Like I put all my DVDs together, and Spencer came in the other day. He goes, "You have Die Hard?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "I love that movie." I go,
This is a great Christmas movie. Somebody had to say.
Here, I give it 5 seconds and watch the comment section. But anyway,
Yeah.
he agrees. Somebody in the comment section doesn't agree at all. But anyway, so I'm like, he's like, oh, I can I borrow it? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And he kind of didn't.
Oh, here we go.
Any
put it up.
Christmas, any movie is a Christmas movie if it takes place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Listen, Gremlins is technically a Christmas movie.
It is.
Friday after next Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that
But-
kind of was more Christmas
But yeah,
movie.
he's like, so like I have a Blockbuster video in my bedroom where he could take one and then he has to bring it back. But yeah, I mean, the physical copy of the DVDs is so much better. All you have to do is put in a DVD player, and now everything, like DVD players are $10. Blu-ray
Yeah.
DVD player. Remember, there were $200-300 to get a Blu-ray
Oh
DVD.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like $10, and then you
Mhm.
buy the DVDs, which is like two. I think I got 2 seasons of Family Guy for $6 the other day,
Heck yeah.
and it's like they're taking things out of these. I mean, let alone not even making some of this stuff. Not
Case
even
in
make.
point. The whole the scene. Bruce even said it was. I don't give a shit. Bruce is fucking dude.
Oh,
He's
he's
not
retarded
mentally
now.
there anymore. All right. He has
He's got
dementia.
dementia.
Oh, my
He
bad.
doesn't even remember Die
I
Hard.
thought you were unbreakable.
No, but case in point, that scene in Family Guy where they're making fun of Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Like the dude says cowboy butt sex. Peter's singing a song about cowboy butt sex. They take that out and they make it cowboy gay sex. You can't find that clip anymore.
Oh,
No.
Nowhere can you find that clip where he's singing cowboy butt sex.
Wow. Yeah, and you can't find Donald Trump in the lobby in Home Alone 2.
No, you
Yes,
can't.
you can't. Yes, you can. You
You
can.
Okay.
They
Yes,
took
they
out-
they still have it on there.
There was
I asked. I asked.
Old
I asked
time.
my sister and my mom.
they took out
Yippee-ki-yay, Amanda.
what was that Disney movie where they took out the Twin Towers from? They digitally removed the Twin Towers.
Oh,
because it's not
yeah.
It
allowed.
might have been Home Alone.
I think it was Home Alone.
It might have been Home Alone.
It sounds like it would be.
I don't remember. I'll have to
But
look
yeah,
it
they
up, but-
they digitally take these things out. So like, I don't. Like, why
Erasing
would-
history?
Yeah, I mean, but that goes to the point what Rich is saying about,
Yeah.
like the Taylor Swift, how dumb people like, they're literally Mandela affecting you right in front of your face, and
She's
Yeah.
out. She's like, I'm done with y'all.
they're literally Mandela affecting. So that way, in the next generation of kids, won't even know about the Twin Towers.
Right?
They're doing it on purpose. There's a reason why they're doing this stuff. So they eventually will say, What Twin Towers?
How much
What
money
9/11?
went missing before 9/11?
No, you say Twin Towers, they're like, oh, I like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the two towers, exactly. That's what. Oh, you mean Lord of the Rings, right?
No,
Like,
the World Trade Center, motherfucker.
yeah.
What is
but these
that?
kids, exactly, and you won't have any movies because they'll digitally take all this shit out, and nobody will know any of this stuff existed because it'll be gone digitally. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons. Another reason why I started collecting DVDs, because like I want to keep that original stuff. Like I like collecting old books. Like I have a 1987 dictionary. That fucker's about, it's
Wow.
the Encyclopedia Britannica edition. It's like that thick because they take words out and they switch what the meaning of words. And they go,
Racism?
well, yeah. And they go, well, the words need updating. No, they don't. The reason why words are words
Updating words.
is because there's an origin and a meaning behind the word.
Mhm.
Just because you feel like some modern day thing of switching what words are because you think Urban Dictionary is a fucking real thing doesn't mean that it's really what it means. Words have origins, they have meanings.
Mm-hmm.
You control a population through its control of language.
Yeah, I just saw Mean Girls 2 nights ago, and that is so fetch.
Are we trying to change language now?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, so
Yeah, I
wait,
can use that.
all right. So we're gonna be wrapping up soon.
Yeah, we derailed the
But
fuck
before
out
we
of
do,
this.
I want to get let's go back real quick because there's something really important about the whole Natalia Grace thing that we were talking about. So her adoptive mom had come out and was talking to the U.S. Sun, talking about how their relationship is strained, but they still have like a relationship. They talk frequently. Natalia's right now living with friends and everything, and it doesn't really get into like what happened or anything like that at all. So, okay. That being said, when did that article come out from the Hollywood Reporter?
January 10th of this year.
Okay, so she says that in January 10th of this year. So after the first season of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, she actually started a TikTok and an Instagram with the with the @ of like NatGrace20. After the second season aired and everything happened, that one was gone. That was gone off of Instagram, gone off TikTok. She started a new TikTok. She started a new Instagram. And the Man's Family Instagram has pictures of all of them together and stuff until Thanksgiving of this past year of 2023. And they haven't posted anything, like actually posted. I don't know if they've had any stories or whatever, but there was nothing. They haven't posted since Thanksgiving. Now, Natalia started a new Instagram December 23rd of 2023. And all it is pictures of herself and like, just basically saying, oh, like, I just want to let you all know that I'm fine, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't talk about the family, doesn't have any pictures of her and her adoptive family, nothing like that. And
Did she
I
go
think
after him with a turkey cutter?
I don't know.
Turkey cutter.
I mean,
But I will say,
That little chainsaw.
yeah, they.
what I will say is
Was
that
she hiding that under the bed?
this girl obviously went through trauma of some sort because
Oh, of course.
I mean, what she was talking about, what she went through at the Ukrainian orphanage of people that she was like afraid of and stuff like that.
Like that scene there where the dude was wearing the mask. Like, who the fuck does that? You're doing that to make kids go to bed. Yeah, of course the girl went through some trauma.
Scaring the fuck out of them.
Yeah, they were scaring the hell out of these kids to make them go to bed.
Yeah, and then like they talk about how like sometimes with kids who come into orphanages have difficulty meshing with the families. Like they'll get along for a while and then they don't because of it's called something. It's like an actual like disorder or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I suffer from that.
Reactive to something disorder.
Yeah, something like that. So it's just kind of like, well, could some of these things actually be true.
Munchausen
It doesn't.
Pro
It does.
by Poxy.
It doesn't. It doesn't make what the Barnetts did okay at all.
Don't king shame. Not nice.
But no, I mean, you do have, like I said, of course, this girl does have some kind of, she does have trauma going through her life. I mean, who wouldn't? When you're listening to
Right.
the entire story, going through what this girl did, in and out of homes, in and out of mental homes, in and out of different things, like, of course, everybody. She was abandoned at 8, 9 years old. That's gonna play havoc on anybody. However, the fact that not only was the Barnett saying it, the people at the mental home were saying it. There was, there was an officer that was saying there's something wrong with this girl, and now the new adopted family's like, this bitch is insane. Like, there is some validity to every claim in this, and you can't tell who's lying. You can't tell what's the truth in the entire thing. All I know is every single one of them are mentally insane.
All
Everybody.
of them. All
Now
of
that
them.
sounds like just like Tiger King.
And not for nothing. Not for nothing. They all played up for the cameras.
Oh yeah,
all of them.
everybody.
She
That
plays
sounds
it
like
up. She plays it up. Michael plays it up. Anton plays it up. The only one I think is kind of genuine is Cynthia. Like, I think she's just the odd one out, and
Who
she's
is
trying to be
Cynthia?
That
the
and
mother, the new mom.
the midget family that was going to take
No,
her
no,
before the
no,
Barnetts.
no. Cynthia's the Antoine.
She's
Cynthia Mann.
married to the
No,
dad
I'm
that
saying
they're
that.
having a kink with the midget.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes,
that
what-
and the midget family before the
Yeah.
Barnetts. They didn't play it up either. They were just kind of like normal. They were like us. They
Yeah,
were
they were
talking like us.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't let them adopt her. And
Because
they just gave
was
her
never
right to the
explained.
Barnetts.
it was.
You know what?
I thought it was.
I wonder if it had to do with this.
Yes,
I think.
Someone
Well,
made
I
that's what it
think what
sounds like.
Well, they said that.
They
That
weren't.
they
material.
they said that it there was some kind of domestic violence. They were saying
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there was something that I'm pretty sure it was in the second season, and they were saying that Catherine, I think, sent in a letter to the courts stating that there was some domestic violence in the past with them two, and so they bypassed them and gave her to Catherine and Michael. There was a
And
letter
you
that
say
was
that
sent.
they were a midget family that reported that or something.
No, I think
You're
what was
saying
it?
that Christine.
Christine, yeah. She's a redhead.
you're saying
I want to call her Kathleen.
Christine sent a letter to
The courts or the
the
police or something like
courts.
that, and stating that the family.
So she wanted her so bad.
Yeah, she wanted her so bad to prove that she
Like
can do
her
it, because
money
that was her
maker.
next. That was the next thing. It was the son, and then she was the next. She was picked, like she was handpicked. And they're saying that, oh, we never met the adopted family either. The one who we adopted from the Taconis or whatever, and then there was conflicting stories about that. Like I said, there's so much in this
Damn.
that it's just like, what the fuck, and you don't know who to believe. And everybody, like I said, she's there with Michael, and she's like, Michael, just tell me what happened and I'll forgive you. And Michael's just like, I don't know. I don't know.
I only
It
have
was
sex
the
with men
devil."
midgets.
And she's like, just Michael, just tell me. And he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, I forgive. It's like, what the fuck is going on
God.
here?
I'm
And then
gonna
you're
watch.
sitting there going, who you're playing hug chicken, because you're going, who's gonna hug first between the both of them sitting there crying, and you knew Michael was gonna win because Michael's just in there like hugging himself.
He's like, no, yeah, and then he's
Oh.
like slowly like inching himself towards her.
Yeah.
Like, please,
Like,
Oh wow.
it's
just
gonna
hug
look
me.
good on
Come
camera.
on, make me look good. Come hug, dude. It was so cringy.
Yeah.
It was to be honest, it was like a fucking Family Guy skit. It really was. And it
Cringe
just
drama at its finest.
it's
While I
so
was-
bad.
While I was streaming that, my chat was popping off. They're like, "This is the craziest story I've ever heard." And I was like, "Right?" Then they're like,
Yeah.
"I don't know who to believe.
and I
this
didn't even-
bitch is lying. That bitch is lying. What is
And
happening?"
we didn't even get into the beatings.
Oh God, no.
What? Just beatings? Oh,
No. There's a story in there where the mother, Catherine,
Christine.
Christine. Yeah, Christine. See, you're fucking me up, Davey.
Yep.
Christine,
I do that.
like, puts
Troublemaker.
Christine puts Natalia against the wall because she won't answer who the hell she really is. Like, the girl's been staying there the entire day. So Michael comes home and she's just like, he plays it up, of course. He's like, "You back up your wife." And he's like, "Okay, what?" And she's like, she rips the girl off the wall. She's like, "You tell me who you are. Tell me who you are." And of course, the girl's like 8, 9 years old. She don't know what the fuck's happening. So she just throws her on the floor and starts beating this girl. I mean, not like a belt,
Whoa.
just beating the girl,
Damn.
right? And the guy's like, "I don't know what to do."
According
You
to
little bitch.
Michael.
According to Michael, yeah.
According to Michael. That's
But
a big
She
salt.
stays on the wall
Grain.
all damn day long. According to Michael, she stays on the wall all damn day long, being beat, and then gets back on the wall, so she pisses and shits herself. She's been there all day, all night.
Oh,
Yeah, that's-
man.
Like it's wicked. It's wild as
The
hell,
son,
man.
the sons take turns beating her too.
Yeah,
No.
Oh,
the
No,
youngest
they-
son in the show, the smart
Oh.
one, admits his
He
mom
threw her down the
instructed to piss him on him.
stairs.
Yeah, she
Oh,
apparently
I
he kicked her
forgot
down the
about
stairs.
that.
His
Yeah.
mom literally instructed him to piss all over her bed because she was pissing and shitting everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fuck, dude. You can understand why this
oh
girl
now it
has
sounds like a
trauma.
child called It, the book.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Pelzer.
But
Horrible.
with that, we want to thank y'all for joining us today. I'm going to play
Yeah.
one clip that I got yelled at to play for.
Oh,
So that way
well,
I
real
don't
quick,
get
you-
I don't get the Natalia Grace treatment here at home. I'm going to play it.
Well, just so you all know, so next week we're actually going to be talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. We're going to be talking about that case, those documentaries, her now out of prison.
I didn't
There's
know
a
they-
lot of
Oh
crazy
yeah,
ass
that's right.
things
She
that
just
go
got
with
out
that.
of prison.
I didn't
Send me
know
the links so I could definitely watch
I didn't
anything
know they
ahead of
pulled
time.
her salivary glands out. Her mom did,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so she
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
salivate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That poor man's junk is going to be rough as a. Never mind.
Mm.
On the
Oh.
end, before we get to the
Yeah.
plugs,
Yippee-ki-yay.
I did this rose for one reason and for one reason only, to settle something once and for all. Now, please listen very carefully.
I don't want to be a part of your
Die Hard
domestic
is
disturbance.
not a Christmas movie.
There you go.
Sir, it took place during Christmas. It is the Krampus is
dude.
a Christmas movie.
Krampus is Listen, Krampus was better than I thought it was going to be. Holy shit, it was so good. I thought it was going to be like some kind of a B movie, but Krampus actually ended up being really good.
I still haven't seen
Oh,
it
you know,
either.
we also have to talk about Disney getting everybody ready for Ready Player One.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a really good. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
we have
Disney
to-
came out with a car now, I think, with Honda.
Ugh.
I saw it on Mr. Beast video.
But
And
Why
it said
can't
Disney
Disney
lower
die?
dashboard.
Before we get into all that, Rich, where can we find you?
Yeah. Number one, alone, you can find me on Voice of the People. Normally, I go through Senate hearings and everything like that because you do need to listen to what your elected officials say because all the misinformation comes from them. Thursdays, you can find me and Davey on Off Label. And Well, I've been kicked off of Twitter again because apparently telling the president treason charges are coming and the people will hold you accountable is somehow an act of violence.
What? That's
Well-
ridiculous. I think they just have it out for you.
Oh, everything. Yes. But yeah, that's where
What
you
have
can
we
find
been
me.
banned on? Right.
Jack, where can people find you?
Well, I have 2 Jacks, 1 Scotch every other Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up, which is in a couple days, will be the next episode, the second episode of 2024. And then you could also follow my band, Dreaming a False Reality, on Instagram and YouTube. So that's about it right there.
Mama J?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can find me on X at Suburban Mama 1. Suburban Mama, that's the number 1. Find me there. You can also find me, Davey, and Biz every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific for the Business Party Podcast. So you can find
I
us
left
there.
one thing out.
What?
Also follow this wonderful person on X
Oh.
named at Admiral Shats, known as
Admiral
Willie
Shats the
Shats.
shit.
He's got a picture of me for some reason. Love
He's
my
admirer.
content, but yeah, nothing but viral and funny shit all on his X account, Twitter. That's about it.
And you can find me at MW Troublemaker on Twitter. All the links are in there, including the links to the Off Label podcast and the Business Party podcast. And I think I have the Weekend Hangover on there. If not, I'll put that on there immediately. You can also find me on TikTok at Troublemaker Davey. And you can find me with Mama J, Business Party Podcast. This Wednesday, we will have the great and wonderful Andrew Jameson. And you can find me on Thursday with Rich at Off Label Podcast, where this weekend we will be talking to a gentleman I met on TikTok named Ryan. He goes by the name Purple Ryan on TikTok. We're going to get into some interesting things. Ryan is a positive creator on TikTok, but boy, did he tell me he's got some shit to say about things that some people might want to hear about, especially the crisis that we are going through at the moment. With that, we want to say thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you all. We will see you next week.
Oh.